Well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather, bringing you a latest long-range video update here. It is Friday, September the 16th, 2016. It's just right at 8 a.m. Eastern Time here, and we do have a few showers now starting to pop in the area. Not a whole lot, really, if you want to see most of the activity at the time. You got to go back out here towards St. Louis. Now, future radar does indicate that it'll fill in possibly a little bit here later on today. It's going to be a hit and miss kind of shower weekend. It's not going to be one of those things where everybody's going to get wet. Here's the way future radar looks right now. So let's take this out to about here. This is where we should be basically at about 8 a.m. and doing fairly good. It's just an isolated little one cell that's popped up around here rather than a few like it's showing. But for the most part, it's handling okay so far with those shower activities out there. Watch how this happens. Notice here that over the next couple or 3 hours, you might have some isolated showers turn into some more widespread things here over southern Indiana. That's a possibility we'll be monitoring for, and we'll see. Certainly not a guarantee at this point. By and large, Illinois looks to get the most of it. And then later this afternoon, what we see is that starts to head more towards central Indiana. Those of us here in southern Indiana, I think, still have some chances, but it's going to be a little bit lower chances today. We'll run with about a 40 or 50% chance throughout the day. Then by the time you head into the evening hours, future radar does bring some more things into the area here. So there's possibility that as we head towards those Friday night football games that there could be some showers and some scattered downpours around. We won't really know until later this afternoon when we see what radar is actually going to do. Just be advised, just understand that certainly is a possibility. As we look into the longer term picture here as far as the radar goes, that was the HER model that I showed you, the highest res that we have. If we look over at the high res NAM, not nearly as excited about things. There's what it says we should be at right now, and it's not doing quite as well as what the other one is. It usually doesn't. It leaves us pretty much high and dry here all day long. And so by the time you get into this evening, there's only a few little dots here in Kentucky. There's nothing really over southern Indiana until you get later into the evening. This would be about 10 o'clock in the evening. So again, it's not very excited about our prospects tonight. It's not very excited about our prospects tomorrow either. As you wake up tomorrow morning, not much going on, and just a couple of little blips here and there during the afternoon hours. The thing about future radar is right now it's not been performing very well lately, so we can't really take this as just a shining example of what it's going to be. What I can tell you is that as far as chances go, there will be some chances throughout the day today. It's going to be about a 40 or 50% chance a day. This evening and through the overnight hours, we'll run with about a 50 to 60% chance. And by the time you go up into Saturday, I think it's going to be closer to a 70 or 80% chance of rain. I think there's a really good chance of rain. Don't think future radar here is seeing the right pattern, but that's evidenced by the fact that multiple times this week it has completely missed some storms that popped up that it just didn't see. For example, the storms that hit the Evansville area on Thursday. Well, not really storms. There weren't much storm action with it. It was just some showers, but on Thursday morning. But that action didn't even show up on future radar at all. It just completely missed it, and that's unfortunately kind of where we're at with this pattern right now. The modeling is just not handling it very well. So I think as you get closer to time, it might start to see things just a little bit better. But I do think we'll see some hit and miss showers on Friday. Today, Friday night especially, and on Saturday as well. It's not going to be a steady rain all the time. It's just going to be very hit and miss. Some will get it, some won't. But I think there's a pretty decent chance for rain after that. Here's how the GFS sees things. There's tropical storm, the remnants of tropical storm Julia there off the coast of Florida, sort of just spinning around. Here's how the high-res GFS sees things, and you can see, well, there's rain around the area here. This is accumulated precipitation over a 6-hour span as I move this over. So the chances are certainly there. Again, they're not huge chances. We're in that first light green. It's just not really a whole lot going on there. And you can see that pretty much moves out of the way. Here is by 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, the front is finally starting to move through. There's a chance that we may see a few showers linger into Sunday morning, but we'll be clearing throughout the day as high pressure starts to build back in, and we'll have a pretty nice back half of the weekend anyway. So if you got plans on Saturday, I wouldn't cancel them if you're going to the Ferdinand Folk Fest, or if you've got some things going on anywhere else around the area. I know there's a lot of events that's happening on Saturday. Certainly wouldn't cancel them. It might not hurt to grab an umbrella and bring an umbrella with you, but by and large, not a whole lot of a big thing going on here. Just some hit and miss showers. Just keep an eye on to the sky and eye on radar. You'll be fine. All right. as we continue to put this into motion, high pressure, large and in charge for a few days. We do have some systems that could bring us some smaller rain chances coming in, but it's going to be later in the forecast period before we get the next big front moving through. The GFS rolls the next big front through right here around the 25th of September. And then it's got some other little action going for us after that. As I've been talking about, there's a pretty big cold front that's going to move through to close out the month. The modeling is all over the place as far as the timing on this. My guess is going to be closer to the 28th, as I've said in some of my blog posts on this. In fact, if you go to southernindianaweather.com, and then the blog post that I wrote yesterday, I talked about some lower 40s maybe to close out September, and here's kind of the pattern. By the way, here was the future radar views from yesterday, and it showed this for Friday night, and it showed this Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and then here was the accumulated precipitation. So you see, future radar has even been all over the place on what it can show as well. But basically, the setup that you've got is there's some cold air that's going to come down with behind another cold front, and it's going to show up here around the 28th or so of September. The modeling has it's up for grabs at this point, folks, as far as the timing is concerned on that. But it could leave us pretty cold. It's not the only model that's showing that. Even the Eurocontrol model of its ensembles, the EPS, is showing a very similar situation to that. So right now we know that there's going to be a pretty big cold front that's going to roll through, and it's going to mean business. Just exactly. Let me show you this first here, and gives you an idea of when this is. Here's the jet stream as we got the mid-level jet right now, and here is the ridge of high pressure down to our south. It's what's keeping things somewhat warm over here. We're not just ridiculously toasty because it's still pretty far away from us, but we're right along the edge enough that we can still feel some of the warmth. That's going to be a game changer, though, as we get into the weekend. There's the cold front right there rolling through. All right, so there's the cold front moving through behind it. Ridge starts to retreat out to our west a little bit, then come back out to our east. As you get later on into the month, though, watch how everything changes. There's your big cold front that's going to start to roll through. This would take you here on about the 26th, 27th. I'm saying closer to the 28th at this point, but again, that date is up for grabs. It's going to change in the modeling for a few times until we get there. There's that big cold front roll through, and then behind that cold front, what you notice is we're on this classic northwest flow pattern. That classic northwest flow pattern is what's going to lead to some well below normal temperatures as well. How well below normal? We'll take a look at this. Temperatures 10, maybe even 15 or more degrees below normal in the Celsius range. So that's going to be, you convert that over to Fahrenheit, 2025, even some places 30 degrees below normal for this time of year. That's going to be powerful with it. Each run's a little bit different. As you wake up behind this cold front, this particular run of the GFS takes us into the upper 40s. One run yesterday took us down to the lower 40s, and then you see some 30s floating here into the area as well. And some areas here, 41, 42, that's flirting with some upper 30s. So this cold front means business. Now, these are lows. It's not going to last this way forever. Be chilly for a night or two, and then it's going to start to warm back up. High temperatures behind this would probably be in the 60s. So it's going to be a true fall blast kind of feel to it, no matter how you cut it. And this, by the way, is not the only thing that's in our works for it. In fact, it looks like October is going to be pretty active as far as that goes, too. If we take a look at the CFS model, there's the ridge, high pressure, and watch what happens here. You've got later this month a pretty big cold front that rolls through. You got this first cold front that rolls through here around the 24th, and you got another one that shows rolling through here around the 26th. So that's a little different than the other models, but it has some pretty reinforcing cold air with it. In fact, then behind that you've got another big front that rolls through here right around the 1st of October or so. And look at this. Look what comes down with this. By the way, this is temperatures 850 millibars. This is temperatures about 4,000 feet up. And the white line here is the 0 degrees Celsius line. This is the the line that would show you where freezing is at 4,000 feet. And notice that takes the freezing line right over us. Now, of course, if you're looking for forecast snow, you want to have that freezing line over you or well past you in order to get snow. So that would mean it would be cold enough in the upper levels of the atmosphere to snow. That doesn't mean that it would get snow because the precipitation's all gone by this time. That's just, it gives you an idea of how cold that's going to be. So freezing up 4,000 feet into the atmosphere, that's going to translate to probably highs maybe in the 50s and lows in the 30s, certainly within frost territory here as far as that's concerned that night. So another very big big cold front there scheduled potentially to open us up as we begin October. Then behind that, it's just going to be an up and down battle where we've got other big fronts here. Here's one about the 9th moving through that could bring another reinforcing cold shot like that in here again, and then there's more diving down as you head later into the month of October. So each run of the CFS here, by the way, is completely different. That's to be expected this far out. But what we're looking at here is some consistency in the pattern, not the exact dates. And what we are seeing here is plenty of cold shots coming our way, the way things look in October. It's not going to be an entirely cold month, but we're going to have some chances for some just real fall blasts coming our way as far as that is concerned. And that makes perfect sense. If I were to take you out into the Bering Sea and look, you've got plenty of troughiness in the Bering Sea over the next couple of weeks to close out September. That will translate to a pretty cold or pretty active rather October, filled with plenty of opportunities for some cold shots from the way things look right now. So active times coming our way. Here's the forecast. You can go to southernindianaweather.com, click on 10-day forecast. There's some scattered showers today with a high around 88. That front will knock us down considerably as it moves through. Only going to a high of about 82 tomorrow, and I'm going with about an 80% chance of rain with those scattered showers. And thunderstorms, those showers will move out of here early in the morning, gives way to some clearing skies later on Sunday with a high around 80. We do get a little bit warmer again next week too, under some mostly sunny skies. There's some small chances for rain here on Wednesday with more of an isolated fashion. Then as you come into next weekend, you got some rain chances as well. But you notice nothing major here in the way of heat, and that is a good thing. I do think the 90s are probably pretty much gone for the year, as I have said before. There is a chance that we could get close if the heat builds back up, but I do really think that it's going to start cooling down the more and more we go into September. And that's a good thing. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for that fall blast. The 10-day outlook does not take you here as far as when that cold front takes you down here, but it's looking some serious business. If I look at my blog post from yesterday, show you the ensemble models here from the GFS, and behind that cold front, whenever it comes, look at this. It knocks us temperatures down here into the lower 70s for highs. And remember, the ensemble sometimes has a warm bias too, so these could easily be in the 60s where we end up. And there's temperatures here, 51, 49, 49. If a warm bias, yeah, mid-40s could easily be possible with that. That's wait and see at this point. But by and large, we've got a nice cold regime pattern change here, if you will, to set up the end of September as we begin October. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for it. By the way, that'll help amplify the changing of the leaves too. So if you're looking forward to fall and the colors and all that stuff, bringing on these cooler temperatures abruptly like that will be something that will help to jumpstart that process as we get a little bit later into the month. All right, folks, that is it for this update. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite for southernindianaweather.com. A few showers out there around today, nothing too big. Again, if you're headed to the games tonight, just make sure you grab an umbrella with you. Take care.